Hello, good evening. Happy New Year. I'm so excited to have us all together again in January for Books and Bush Tea. Now, Books and Bush Tea, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, is a conversation that we have about reading, about writing, and it's based in the Cayman Islands. So we're talking to Cayman readers, we're talking to Cayman writers and authors. And today I'm super excited because we have a lot of guests. We have at least 5 people, and I think maybe 6 joining us to talk about their goals for reading for 2026 and how their reading went in 2025. So brace yourselves. You're going to get a lot of information. If you would love to get recommendations from different types of readers, I advise you to get yourself a pen, a piece of paper, or just your phone notes and just take notes. Take notes about what we're up to and the kind of recommendations that you're getting that you're interested in. So welcome again. Happy New Year, guys. Now, before we start today, and before I invite my first guest, I really need to pay homage to one of our greatest readers of all time in Cayman. In the last couple of weeks, we have lost a very special person in Cayman. Captain Paul Hurlston left us in December, just a few weeks before his 95th birthday. Captain Paul was one of our most prolific readers. He was also one of the titans of Cayman history and Cayman industry. He was actually my grandpa Hugh's shipmate. They went to sea together. And the last time I saw Captain Paul, I gave him a copy of my book for the first time. I'm going to share with you just what he looked like. He made me sit down on the front porch and tell him and read him one of the books. He really loved Dear Pa, which was the poems, which was a poem about my grandpa Hugh, who was a good friend of his. But I just want to spend some time and honor him this evening. Reading in Cayman and the thinking of Caymanians has been such a powerful thing. Our imagination has been fed by reading for generations and generations. And Captain Paul was one of those people that really brought it home to me, because when I saw him last, I would bake coconut bread and go visit him and sit down and talk. And he gave me so much information. He actually gave me a copy of the Southwell years that I have right next to me today, by another important Caymanian in our history, Miss Consuelo Ebanks, who was also left us. But he really was such a interesting guy. He actually recited poems to me the last time I saw him and shared with me what his reading life was like. Captain Paul was a collector of material. He's actually given me a lot of material on my own family. And I actually, he was going to be sorely missed. We have been so blessed to have him for just shy of 95 years. So, and I think he's so handsome in this photo. Look at this. That's 1962. We're going to very much miss this gentleman, who is a real legend. He was one of the most qualified captains in the world. Cayman had quite a lot of what they call unlimited tonnage captains, a captain who had no limit on the size of ship that he could captain. And he was one of them. So, whenever we think about Cayman and our history as readers, as writers, this gentleman should really be an inspiration to us all. He has explored the entire world, and he talked to me a lot about his journeys. He shared a lot of pictures with me, and he was so open to sharing. There's so many of us who have visited with Captain Paul, but I just wanted to take this time to honor his life, honor his reading history, and really honor what he represents and the inspiration that he has. We're often told that Cayman people don't read, and that's not true. And he's actually one of those people who can prove that we have always been readers. Our seamen would comb the seas, and they would come home with books. A lot of them would bring books home for their children, for their wives. We've always been a culture that involved reading. So, in honor of Captain Paul, I am actually I've invited 5 or 6. We don't know how many are going to show up, but I'm actually excited to see who shows up today, because I've got some lovely guests lined up for us to talk about reading and to talk about how reading has gone in 2025. And, we have a lot of counterculture around New Year's resolutions. There's been a lot of pushback in social media. Oh, we don't need to do resolutions, etc. And there's a very good argument for that. There's an argument that winter is a time to hibernate. Winter is a time when the nights are longer. Winter is not a great time to start new things because our energy is often lower in the winter. And of course, Cayman is very tropical, but we do experience the longer nights. We have had wonderful weather for the last couple of weeks, and I wish it could last into the whole year. I wish it was always that way. But one of the things that I've been thinking is that while it might be true that the New Year is not a good time to start something new for normal other activities, books is an exception. Because if you're going to be within your home, and if you're going to be spending cozy time with bush tea, as we always do on this show, I got my spice blend with a lot of ginger in there and some honey tonight, then you're going to want a good book. So today we're going to talk about New Year's reading, and our first guest is going to join us in just a few minutes. I'm just checking to see if she's ready. I'm going to pinch her real quick, but all good. Hang tight. Let me just see where we are. I've got Miss Carolyn Smith. Hi. There you are, my love. I'm going to take down.
Hi.
Have him join us in spirit. Hi.
Hi. How are you? Happy New Year.
Welcome. And I always wanted to get you on this show because you are a poet. Mm-hmm. You're an Instagram reviewer of books. You are someone who has one of the richest reading lives I've ever seen. And I'm super excited to have you on the show because you have so much to contribute to the conversation. Right?
Oh, wow, no pressure.
Well, yeah, come on now. This is your wheelhouse. You're all about it. I'm not worried about you at all. You are right on it. So I have a couple of questions for you, and I would love to hear how things have gone for you most recently. Like, what does your reading life look like for the last year, for 2025?
Okay, so for 2025, things kind of changed for me in terms of reading. My reading became very slow and became very intentional. And I know you haven't asked this, but I feel like it ties in with what I'm going to say in, how it's changed over the years. So prior to 2025, I used to do the goals of, okay, this year I'm going to read 100 books. And it didn't matter what those 100 books were. I just want to get through reading 100 books. And that was on my list. In 2025, I became a lot more intentional in, okay, what kind of information do I want to be consuming? What stories matter the most to me? What stories do I wish to live in my head even after I read? And so I slowed down a lot with my reading. And also another thing that changed for me was it wasn't only about physical books, because before I could not read a book on Kindle. I could not listen to an audiobook and think that was reading. And then in 2025, when I started having other creative ventures and my time became limited. So my time in terms of sitting down with a physical book and opening a physical book, that became limited. But I still wanted to read stories. I still wanted to consume stories. So what do? I was like, okay, let me try this audiobook thing. And downloaded an audiobook, and I haven't looked back. When I am sewing, when I'm painting, when I'm, doing something with my hands that takes, my time away from opening a book and reading, I can listen to the audiobook. And that has been a game changer for me. Still love my physical books down, but introducing audiobooks into the mix, been awesome.
Listen, man, welcome to the dark side. I love it.
For real.
We talk about this all the time because you always love to have your books. And you have actually shared with me books because I got to the point where I wanted physical books. So I would call you and like, can you give me something that makes me feel like this? And then you bring me,
Mhm.
and I actually have a couple that I need to return to you right now. But
That's all right.
so what kind of reader would you say you are now? Like you talked about how things have changed
Mhm.
in the last year, right? But is there a genre that you're specifically attached to? Because I know you've always read very widely, but
Yes.
so we've gone kind of like beyond the traditional format. Is there
Mhm.
something changing about what you're reading?
Yes. So what I have found, so I did literature in college, right? And the literature I did was a lot of classical literature, and I love classical literature. I love my Dickens. I love my Shakespeare, my Chaucer. Love those. But what I found is that I wanted to read more stories that represented me, that represented my people and my ancestors more. So I'm reading a lot more Caribbean books. I'm reading a lot more books by Black female authors. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and just reading books with the Caribbean landscape, the Caribbean food culture, um, the flora and fauna of the Caribbean. It's just, I feel it's more enriching to me. And that's how my reading has changed. And that's the kind of reader that I am. Yes, I do read other authors in the mix if the storyline is captivating enough. But my mainly Caribbean reading, Caribbean setting, Caribbean authors, and Black female authors. That's
So
where I am.
I love that you say this because I would love recommendations, and you're who I go to for recommendations on Caribbean writing because I have
Mhm,
always struggled with some of the darkness in Caribbean writing. Right?
mhm.
We talked about this, right? Like the
Yep.
darkness. And you were the one who recommended to me my favorite
Oh
Caribbean
my
book
gosh, I know.
ever. And you know which
Mhm.
one it is, right?
Yes, Miss Ross, don't it?
It's so good.
So
Yes.
good. So
The,
good.
the book is Poppy Show,
Yep,
right? And by
yep.
Leonie Ross. And I actually have befriended her on social media. And I'm so
Mhm.
excited. Like, we should send this to her because
Right?
I
She would
love
love
how
it. She
she
would love it.
writes. I
Love
love
it.
how she writes. She brings so much lightness into the Caribbean voice.
Yes,
And she doesn't make it all about race. She doesn't make it all about history. She
that's
doesn't
the
make it
thing.
all about colonialism. She actually takes all of the Caribbean cultures,
Mhm.
smushes them into one place, and
Mhm.
then adds magic, right?
Magic
It's
and
just
just
magic.
boom. Yeah, and it's
I
mind
love her
blowing.
work.
Love her
Yeah,
work.
yeah. Is
Love
there
her work.
anyone else that you would recommend? I know I'm putting you on the spot now. Anyone else that
Mhm.
you would recommend as a Caribbean writer?
Um, as a Caribbean writer, so recently I have read, she's from Trinidad. Um, hang on a second. Hold on. I know the last name is Agostini. She wrote the book Bread the Devil Needs.
Mm.
Lisa Allen Agostini. Um, she, her writing is very, although it's rich, it's very concise. And I love her stories. Another one is Celeste Muhammad. And I don't know what it is, but the writers coming out to Trinidad, man, I am really, really loving them.
Your
Celeste Muhammad,
podcast, they're getting really interesting.
really,
Yeah,
I think I know which one you're
yeah.
talking. I think I know which one you're talking. But
I sent it to you.
Celeste Muhammad, her book Pleasant View, that
Hmm.
was a novel told in stories. So
Oh.
she had like each chapter was a short story, but then they all tied in into a novel. And it
Yeah,
was at the time I've never read a novel like that where it's told in stories. So you get different point of view of different characters and
yeah,
different things going on in their lives all together, but somehow it ties together at the
yeah.
end. And I will always recommend that book. And of course, Puppy Show by
Oh,
Leonard.
Puppet Show is one of the best.
It's one of
It's a
the
beautiful
best. It
thing.
will always be in my lexicon of reads. Another one I can't leave without saying Kai Miller. He is a Jamaican poet and author. So he's done poetry books, but he's also done novels. And my favorite novel by him is called August Town.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Yes. You told me about August Town.
yes, a very, very good book.
Is it similar to Marlon James's work? Because I
No,
get the sense.
no,
Okay.
no, absolutely not.
Because Marlon James, I have like a
Yes.
love-hate relationship with Marlon James. I
Yes.
love his ability to bring something to life, but
Yes.
what he brings to life is often so dark that
Very dark.
I have to like take moments and take a break.
So with
It's so powerful.
Marlon James's writing, he doesn't hold back on anything. He knows he can write.
Yeah.
So he will use a whole chapter to get one point across. And you will stick with the whole chapter because the writing is so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Kai Miller is very concise with his words and with his plot.
So Hemingway
it makes it very, even if it's a very dark topic, he makes it a very easy read, very light, very easy, and I will always recommend that one. So those are my likes.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you mind if I just close us out with some quick lightning questions?
Go on, Truman.
So now that you've explored, which one do you prefer, audio, ebook, or paper?
Oh my God, trick question. Paper.
Okay, fiction or nonfiction? I think that was.
Oh my gosh, fiction.
Anytime. Do you read one at a time, or do you read multiple books at a time?
So it depends. So I can be listening to an audiobook while reading a physical book when I have the time to sit down and read. So multiple books. Got it. And sometimes I do listen to the same book that I'm reading.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Last question. Do you always have to finish a book, or do you have a do not finish?
Hell no. Oh, sorry. No. I will. They call it DNF. Do not finish a book because my life is precious. My time is precious. And I cannot sit. Listen, I cannot sit with a story that is not stimulating to me. Can't. So
I hear you. Listen, man, you have been amazing. You have been Kai. And we can find you on social media, on Instagram, and all of your recommendations. I love your recommendations, and I love that you also add your art in there. Listen, this lady is prolific. Whenever she puts a recommendation online, I have to go on there and
just for full transparency. Just for full transparency for anyone who follows me, it is not always about book reviews because I've stepped back from reviewing books. I will recommend books and tell you about my reading. And then it's up to you to go to it. And
you were on at Lives of Kai. I always get that wrong. The Lives of Kai is in my head, but Lives of Kai, K-A-Y. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. This has been amazing. Thank you.
I'll definitely call you. We have to have you back. It's going to be great.
Awesome.
Have a great evening.
Enjoy the rest of the show, guys.
Bye. And today we are also going to be joined by a young reader who I haven't seen for the new year. Hi, Nico. How you doing? I think you're on mute, my love. Let's get you off of mute.
Am I unmuted?
Yep, I can hear you now. How you doing?
I'm good.
I love your background. That looks very you.
Thank you. This is all the books that
I know. I see some favorites up there. The Wings of Fire. Oh, I love them. I love those.
I'm on the.
So you ready to talk about books? You're on the fourth one?
I haven't started. I've read on the third one, the little epilogue going into it, but I haven't started the fourth one. Whenever I read the epilogue and then I go into that book of the epilogue, I always wonder, should I start from the very beginning of that book, or should I not reread it again?
Yeah, it's annoying, isn't it? And they do that with audiobooks too. Like they play like a little sample of it at the beginning and then you have to hear that all over again. But hey, maybe just don't read the epilogue.
Yeah. But then I have to get an entirely new book and that takes too long.
Yeah, I know. Especially when you're like waiting for one to be written. But I think that series has about 13 books in it.
Yeah, a lot, like mini series.
Yeah, yeah. So for everyone who's joining us, we have questions. How was your reading life in 2025? What did you read?
Really good. I read like mostly, of course, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I read some of these football books, these football biographies. When I want to read something um that's not fiction, and then towards the end of that year, I started Wings of Fire, which has been really good.
And you're also like a heavy like Percy Jackson fan too, right?
Yeah,
But you finished them ages ago.
I finished like the Percy Jackson and the Heroes of Olympus, and I'm on the second book of like the third little series, The Trials of Apollo.
Oh man, you're a proper diehard fan. I need to get into that one because Morgan, my niece and I, we like to. Well, we kind of following right behind you. She's a couple years younger, but she's catching up. But another thing too is that the Wings of Fire has the graphic novels. What do you think of those?
They have graphic novels with like pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't really read like graphic long novels unless it's like Dogman or something like, or Captain Underpants, because my friend told me something that was like really smart, which is like if you're reading a book that it has like a hard cover, or I don't know what it's called when it's like not a graphic novel, but it's just like words, no pictures.
It's a non-picture book. It's like a chapter book, we would call that, I think.
You should like never start reading the graphic novel. You should read the chapter book, then read the graphic novel if you want, because if you read the chapter book first, you get to like use your imagination of what the characters looked like.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I actually agree with that a lot. It depends on why you're reading though. Because I noticed that there's some conversations like some people, some kids in particular, some of the little ones who are struggling with the words at first. What gets them to read in the first place is the pictures, right?
Yeah.
But you're a pretty advanced reader, right? So you're actually really comfortable with the chapter books. And so I actually am a lot more like you, where I want to form the image in my head first. And then if I go and I read the graphic novel later, then it spoils it for me sometimes. I like my image better, right?
Like the Wings of Fire. See on the cover, so big, but then what's the one, Sunny? When I picture her size, because these look like really big, like I don't know, smallest that like a bison. Like when I picture Sunny, I think of her as like my dog size.
Yeah. But then they describe the scavengers, the humans in that story, in that series. By the way, it's so funny. I love when they call them the scavengers, because they don't have a word for humans in the dragon language. This is for the folks that are listening that don't know anything about it, but it is so funny because then it says that the scavengers only reach them up to their knees or something like that, and Sunny's still small, but the rest of them are massive. So I kind of imagine Clay as like the size of an elephant,
Yeah.
He's a pretty big guy.
And then Tsunami is like a crocodile, like longer. Because
more sleek.
Aquatic animal, and she's a sea wing.
Yeah. Now we're not gonna give spoilers though, because I have so many spoilers. We're gonna try and hold off on that. But what's your plan for 2026? Do you have a goal?
They do something called the readathon at my school, which I always try, but like I wasn't really like fully committed before when I was younger. I was just like doing it because my school basically, like when we were in year 2 and we're 6, they just say, they hand you the sheet and they're like, okay, tell your neighbors to give you money every page you read. And so it really wasn't, you just didn't question it. But now it's like, I want to do it more now because I love reading.
Okay.
And then there's Battle of the Books, which my brother did, and I want to do that. My brother's picture's up there.
Oh, look at him. Okay, Battle of the Books. I want to know more about these things. Do you mind if you and I chat about this and I come over and we talk about this one day?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep in touch with you because I want to hear how the Battle of the Books goes. So Battle of the Books, is it like a lot of is it like a goal to read so many books, or is it that you're racing through books? What's the goal?
So today in library, our librarian told us, and she said it was like, sure, you have to like, I think you have to read a book, and then you have to like know about it, but like know about it and ask, and you get asked questions about it, and like if you whoever gets the most questions correct, you win. She said it's not just that, but like you have to be strategic. And I didn't really understand, and I didn't really trust my librarian because that same session she was reading us a picture book called "How Do Not Eat Your Classmates." I was sitting there,
So that led to your distress. Oh, you are so funny.
and then I was like this.
Oh, Nico. Oh, Nico. Oh, man. But it sounds like fun, though, because so then you actually have to know the book really well when you get questioned.
Yeah, but
So you can't cheat.
Yeah, you can't like have the slip next to you on the answer.
Yeah.
I've done
Yeah.
called Mastermind Club last year, and if you know the show, it's like they ask the kids a bunch of questions on the show. It's like from the 2000s, 1990s, and then my teacher, the leader for this club, Miss Thomas, she would like tell you what your topic was, and you had to study. And then I did Star Wars because I love Star Wars, and then I'm pretty sure I broke the Mastermind Club record at my school for getting the most questions on a test, because before me, like the most they got was like 16 to 14, and I got 21. I was like answering questions before she finished.
But Nico, you get obsessed with these things, right? Because I remember when I told you my dog's name, and you were like, "Oh yeah, he's an Egyptian god," and your mom was like, "What?" So it's like you hold these things in your mind, these details so well. I'm like, yes, Khonshu was an Egyptian god. Nico got it completely right. But you keep these things so well, like you remember these details from your reading, don't you?
I do.
All right, so I got a couple of last questions. This is like a fire round, right? Real quick. Super easy. You ready?
Okay.
What do you prefer? Audio, ebook, or paper?
I've never really tried audio. I listen to podcasts. Never tried ebook, and to be honest, I'm not sure what that is. And so I'm gonna say
like on Kindle.
Oh, Kindle.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It looks pretty cool, but I've only tried paper, so I'll go paper.
Okay, awesome. Fiction or nonfiction? Because I noticed you're reading some football books over there.
Well, to be honest, you just have to like. For me, I like both of them, but I think you can just see which type do I have more on my shelf, and you'll see it's fiction. So I guess I have to go fiction.
Yeah. And you like dragons, so why not, right? Do you read one book at a time, or do you read multiple books at a time?
Like with the Diary of Wimpy Kid series, since they're like only a couple hundred pages, like 200 pages, I can read them quickly. So I'll like read multiple of those at a time. And but if there's like a book like The Wings of Fire, Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, if I'm reading that, since I get so into it, I just like quit all of other books. Like what the lady before me was saying, it's kind of like, do not finish a book. That Wings of Fire, the Lost Kingdom, the one with the green dragon on it, I finished that like the day I got it from my class library. So
sucks you in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really sucks you in. I love them. So that was going to be my next question. You know, do you always have to finish, or do you not? And it sounds like you finish all your books.
If I get like into it, like the ones that I say that aren't the Percy Jackson series, like the Diary of Wimpy Kid, I don't always have to finish them because I'm pretty sure I've read every book instead of just not the new one.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. So that was my next question. Do you reread your books, or do you never reread?
I reread a lot, just like not the books that I get into, because I feel like if I was to reread it, that would just like take the joy and magic out of it.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. Like it needs to be something light, right? But yeah, I hear you. But the ones that really suck you in, like into a completely different world, you don't want to do that again because you want to experience that only for the first time.
Yeah.
Listen, man, you've been great, but I promised I would get you off of here before 8:30 because you have a bedtime, don't you?
It's a Friday, but so yeah.
Oh, it's Thursday. It's Thursday. You got school tomorrow, bro. I hate to break it to you, but thank you so much. You have been such a joy.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you for joining us. Have a good one. I'll see you soon.
Night.
Oh my goodness, he's so cool. I love that Nico loves reading because he brings so much joy to it. And we sit and we can talk about books for ages. And now I'm going to bring you our next guest, who is the our nonfiction representative today. This is Mr. Felix Manzanares. Are you joining us, Felix? Are you ready?
I think I'm here. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you for joining us.
I
How are
enjoyed
you
that
doing?
interview. I enjoyed that
Wasn't that
interview.
good?
Stick with it. Yeah, he's my cousin, that Johan's son, and
I
I
thought
was like,
about that afterwards. I'm like, I got more than
I
one
did.
Knox
I
on
know
the
he
show
not get that
today.
from Johan. I know he not get that from Johan. Thank you, Pilar. Thank you, Pilar. But he's amazing.
Man,
I haven't had a conversation or been around him talk. I know he's very smart. I've seen baby pictures of him when he like 3 and 4. I know he like football, and so it doesn't surprise me he has the legends books about football and biography. But he's very intelligent and a bright future if he keep this up.
right? I love it. And so we have like a little thing. My niece and I will go to his house and there and talk about books. And we actually share books and we exchange books. So I got him into the series, The Wings of
Oh,
Fire, because she and I were reading The Wings of Fire together.
Mhm.
And then he got us into the Aragon series, which is a more adult series, but it's actually
Mhm.
not. It's clean and it's not overly adult, right? It's actually written by he started to write it when he was 15, and it's a much more complex type of reading, and it is so good. So he's like my little resource, my little secret weapon for the young readers.
He is a secret rapper. Listen,
Yeah, for sure.
the
For
ratings
sure.
went up
But
when
let's
he
talk
came
about
on, for
you
sure.
though.
All right, go for
Yeah.
it.
So how do books fit into your life? Like how does your reading work?
So, to be honest with you, my reading or the type of things that I expose my mind to comes from hearing it first. So, if there's a podcast that might come across, there's a certain guest, there's a certain topic, and then I would kind of dive deep, or Dorothy would, send me a link and say, this person I heard this, and sometimes we would just cross interchange some information, and then all of a sudden she buys me an Amazon book. So that's how my reading gets in there. There's some books that I also had bought in my Kindle, and I forgot they were there, and so when I was thinking about what to read from my bookshelf, and nothing was kind of picking my brain or picking my interest. And so it has to really just be a leisure 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day. At the end of the day, at the beginning of a morning, I got a little 3-year-old at home, so when nobody's wake up and I got 50 minutes to myself, that's how I fit reading and a coffee in my day. So
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And you actually gave us some images of some of the books that are your favorites, right?
yeah, right now, yeah,
And
there's all the books I've been reading recently.
yeah, Atomic Habits, Diary of a CEO. That one I've heard of, and I'm actually really interested in.
Which
Read
one?
Your
Diary of a
Mind.
CEO?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
a good one. Easy read.
And then Never Split the Difference. I heard about that very, very recently.
Listen, I read that now, and I can't wait for my next job interview or a real estate deal or something, because this negotiation skills that he's equipping his readers for, stuff like that, is very like applicable, and
Yeah.
yeah, so it's very insightful, and we never know how much we leave on the table, because especially in our Caribbean and Cayman culture, where we share with people what we're thinking right away, instead of listening to what and reading the room, and picking up cues, and knowing our value. So that's a very good book.
I'm really interested in that because I mean I don't read a lot of nonfiction, but
Mhm.
but something like that would grab me, you know.
Go for it.
And then you
It's a
also sent
book.
me some more as well. Hold on, let me pull these up
Yeah.
real quick.
These ones I just got. So I haven't
Okay.
again podcast guys, ex-Navy people, leadership. They have like a whole network consultants that group go around the world and equip people in different various aspects of leadership. Haven't read none of those
Yeah.
yet. Just exposed to them on podcast. So that'll be probably March March 1st or something like that.
Yeah, you're working your way through, man.
Yeah,
But this
yeah,
looks
yeah.
good. This looks really interesting. This is kind of like this is like the business side of like the David Goggins drive, right?
Yes, yes, yes. I like David Goggins, but he a little bit too extreme, you know. But some people
That
need
guy
that
not
push.
normal.
Yes, yes. So I love him though. The world needs
Yeah,
people like him.
me too. I love how direct he is as well because I feel like the world doesn't have enough directness.
Yeah, we beat
You
around the
know?
bush way too much, wasting time
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, yeah. I see, and you know, you've got some really good like history with books, right? So
Yeah.
how would you say that your life experiences change the way that you read?
So every season is different, right? So in my pastoral life, you know, a lot of spiritual books, but there was always like this underbelly of philosophy, human behavior. I just love people, right? And I love people, and I say that in a sense where I know people are the most dangerous creations out there as well. But
Mhm.
there's such an incredible aspects and dichotomy and diversity of people and cultures and stuff like that. So anything with emotional intelligence, anything about history. I mean, I did social sciences in school, so I would say
Mhm.
UCCI in my adulthood, UCCI really opened me up to a lot of historical knowledge, a lot of international business, politics, poli science stuff, and you know even local history for what's
Mhm.
available at the time. And so I always have a book thinking about.
Yeah.
However, I'm not as strict in book goals. But if something challenges me, if something I'm
Yeah.
researching, if there's something in parenting and family and business, I'm gonna look into it.
I love that because you know, I and I find like you know there's so much diversity in how people choose what to read. So
Hmm.
I don't actually have goals either. You know, I don't really have
Hmm.
a long term goal. My goals are more in writing, and we're gonna do a whole other thing on that at some point. But
Hmm.
I love that you say that because it's more about the curiosity guiding you, right? You're already trusting yourself to read. You're gonna do
Hmm.
it. It's
Hmm.
just a matter of like, you know, what's next? Like what's tickling my fancy today? Because I sometimes I used to set myself goals. Oh, I'm going to read 100 books this year, and I'm like,
Hmm.
I got to 100 by March, right? And
Well,
then I
kudos to
started
you.
to,
I might get to
oh,
7 in the year or 8 in the year.
oh I know
So
normal.
God bless you.
No, I was a child with the flashlight underneath the sheet, right?
Oh
Like
wow.
hiding after bedtime. So that and it's so funny because my niece is like that, and I actually got her a booklet for Christmas. So my
Hmm.
brother is gonna probably like punish me for that at some point.
A
At some point,
booklet.
he's like, "Stop giving this child things she can use against me." So she has like her own Harry Potter booklet that she can read after lights out.
Wow, wow, wow.
But so yeah, but I like reading 100 books was a very simple thing to me, and then I got to this point where I was like, you know what, I need to reread sometimes, and now I go to sleep. I have read in the last year and a half one book
Hmm.
probably 15 times because
Wow.
I listened to it, and it's
Hmm.
one of those books that made me feel so good that it
Yeah.
is the last thing that I listen to when I go to sleep. You know,
Yeah. So
so.
I don't come from a history of, I think, in my family, immediate family, about readers, but I
Mhm.
do come from a family of persons that like to talk and converse, and I guess in secret they would say they're pros or expert on certain topics. So I guess curiosity is to be informed, and so
Yeah.
I found that books allow me to be informed to a certain degree, and also to I want to learn life lessons, not by my own
Yeah.
mistakes but sometimes from the mistakes of others. And so
Yes.
when I read these books, I'm like, well, I don't gotta do that. The human nature side of me
Yeah.
would still potentially do it, or some aspect or percentage of it, because
Yeah.
that's as humans are. But how we are as a people, however, just exploring people's failures and their comeback stories. I'm a comeback story sucker. I'm a person that have against all odds and overcome.
Mhm.
Transferable knowledge is really what I look for in all of my books. Something that's going to help me in the marketplace, something going to help me with my kids, at my home, with my
Yeah.
friendships, relationships. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. And I love that you're learning from other people's mistakes. Right?
Mhm.
Because some of us
Yeah,
just
we
never
try.
do that. That's what
Yeah.
we're doing. We're learning from other people's mistakes. It's great. Like other people are telling us their lives for us. We
Yeah.
fast forward in the growth.
For $32,
Yeah.
they're selling their life. So I was like, okay, let me
Right?
just hear.
Instead of the hard knocks,
Yeah,
time
instead of the
served,
legal
right?
fees and huge
All of
mistakes.
that. All
Yeah.
of that. You ready for your fire round?
Go for it. Go for it.
Audio, ebook, or paper?
So I would say I haven't dived into audiobook. My friend Ian, he loves them.
I know.
But I haven't got into that. But I'm a big podcast person. So I can listen to a podcast in the background and work. And then I pull like I said, my books from the podcast. But it's 50-50. I love the texture of a physical book. I love it. I like to feel it. I actually feel like I read when I finish a complete book. I could throw it down. And
Yeah.
the digital book is easy to carry, good for traveling, and to have it instead of walking around with a book. So 50-50 on the ebook and the paper book.
Got it. Fiction or nonfiction? We already know. You love your
Nonfiction.
nonfiction.
But to be honest, I probably need to dive into some fiction. I gotta be cautious because I hear that there's some weird romantic stuff that some of
Oh,
these women.
fantasy? No.
No, I'm not gonna get to that. I'm not get to that. I have a friend that gets into that.
I avoid that stuff. I got recommendations for you.
But I need to dive in because I feel like it's a part of my creative process too. So I could see why you would like that. So I need to tap into that in some level. So if you give me very entry level, adult, masculine type stuff, or even
I got one for you.
let me know.
I have one for you, and we are in it right now. My partner and I are listening to an audiobook together. I'm one of those lucky people that we can actually get to do those things. And it's called the Project Hail Mary. It is
Okay.
science. It is science and science and science and masculine and funny. And it's
Okay,
also, it involves aliens. I think you'll enjoy it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I do like Independence Day, so let's see how that
Oh,
works.
no, you're going to love this. If you've seen The Martian, it's the same guy that did The Martian, the movie.
Okay, I only watched 25
Yeah.
minutes of that on the plane, so I need to watch that movie
Yeah.
again. So send me that
Yeah,
at the
cool.
end of
I
the
will.
stream.
I will for sure. I will.
Mhm.
Listen, man, it's been a pleasure to have you. It has been an honor. I love that we have so many men that read. And
Yeah.
it's such a good, strong reminder that reading is such a Cayman thing. And not
Yeah.
only is it a Cayman thing, but it's for everyone, and everyone can find the thing that they need to read. So thank you for representing. Awesome.
Send me that title.
For sure. I will. I have it written down. I'm gonna do that
All right,
now.
great.
Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon, Nikki.
I kicked myself out instead. Listen, man, it's so cool. But I'm actually going to invite a new guest to our stage right now. I'm so excited to have her. You have seen her before. She was one of our first guests on Books and Bush Tea. And look at her, the lovely Carolyn. And I think Caroline. See, I had Carolyn and I have Caroline, and I always get confused. And you're still on mute, my love. But we were talking about, look at our color
Good thing I
coordination.
didn't say anything yet.
Yes, look at you. Welcome
Hey.
back to the
Thanks.
So for those of
I'm
you
glad to
who
be
did
back.
not get to see Miss Caroline and her invitation into the space of drama reading, I really recommend that you go back to that Books and Bush Tea first. I think it was the first episode. I think yours was the first. It may have been
Second,
the
I think.
second.
I think Brigitte was first.
Yeah.
Which was amazing
Yours
as
was
well.
lovely.
Oh my gosh. There I was writing down, and I've just done that tonight too, writing down all the books that everyone is talking about.
It's good, isn't it? I love
Yeah.
talking about books and getting us all together. So there's such a huge sense of community. And
Not that I'm
actually
allowed to have any more right now.
No, I hear you. But I've decided not to punish myself this year. I also have a picture of one of your TBR piles, right, that you shared with us, which I love. It's just one of them she shares. This is what she said to me earlier on. Like, I have one by the bed, and then my husband told me that there's also one right by the bathroom, and there's another one. And so these are all. So TBR in the book world, for those of you who don't know, is to be read. So this is our to be read pile. This is what Caroline has shared with me. I also have Carolyn's TBR pile. that I'm gonna
We didn't
put
get
up
to see
as
that. Ooh,
well. We didn't get to see
I should
that. Oh, that one
screenshot
looks
this right now.
fun. I can actually share them. I'm gonna share them on our Instagram. And by the way, we're gonna have some really fun things coming up on Instagram very soon. So I'm just gonna put our Instagram up so you can see that. But let's get back to your reading. Let's talk about your reading, because tell us a little bit about what you're reading right now. What are you reading at the moment?
A few things. So those you've asked if you read more than one book at a time, of course. One in the bag. So this is my bag book right now.
Okay. Oh, Lady
It's
Macbeth. That has got to
so
be
good.
good.
And then obviously the ones by the bed, and then one in each of the bathrooms. And then there's one downstairs at the moment.
You're always in your bathroom book. Always in your bathroom book.
So I have two bathroom books. The first one is So You Want to Do VO, voiceover. And then the other
Mm-hmm.
one is just a little quick romance kind of thing for when you don't have too much time in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. I know you don't want to think
And
too
it's
much.
called The Wedding. It's called The Wedding. So it's just like,
Ooh.
yum, yum. Yeah.
It's
And
so
then, of
funny because I
course, I've
remember.
always got a couple of audiobooks on the go as well, depending what I'm in the mood for on my long drive from Midland Acres.
Oh wow! Oh, you're that far out. I hear you. I grew up in
Yeah.
there, so I hear you. And God bless you. But hey, you know that's actually something that I think is so cool, because I don't fight traffic anymore. I
No,
actually
so
enjoy traffic.
yeah. And sometimes you have to, once you get home and you park the car, you're sitting in the car so that you can listen to the end of that chapter.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I don't want to interrupt my reading. So and it's so funny because I also take my headset into the car now, so that while I'm walking into the house, oh my goodness, I go to the supermarket with my headset on because I'm listening to a book.
Same.
Yeah.
Don't disturb me in the supermarket.
I don't want to be here. I just
Stop
want the
talking to me.
things.
I have to take my headphones out.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. So tell us, like, I think you kind of answered my next question already, but maybe you have more to say about this. But how do the books fit into your daily life? Like, how do you fit them in?
Um,
Because you're a very busy woman.
I am super busy. So that means that's why I have books in the that's why I have books in the bathroom. And that's why I have a book in my bag. And because I end up in a lot of lines in the bank, lines in wherever I'm going, right? So you can't be on your phone in some of the banks. So because I work for a bunch of different people and I have to be in a bunch of different banks or like queuing up for something, I've always got a book. So that's where I do the bulk of my reading, in the
Yeah.
bank, right? And I read quite quickly when I'm there, and I'm going
Mm-hmm.
faster to as I'm getting closer and closer to the teller or to the front, I'm reading faster and faster so that I can finish a chapter before I get there. So that's what my
Yeah.
reading is like. It's like it's as frantic as I am, right?
And as diverse too, right? As
Yeah.
multifaceted. It's really
I
cool.
I don't stick to one thing. And now with college as well. And I am so excited. Today I got my curriculum for two of my classes. And the
Uh-huh.
reading that is suggested, but to me that's required.
I
So
know.
the
I know.
reading
You're gonna
that's
enjoy that.
suggested is really exciting because it's lots of Caribbean authors that I haven't read before. So it's gonna be exciting.
I'm excited for you. I mean, you're saying beautiful
Me
thing. Like
too.
you started to tell me all about it, right? And I'm super excited for you because it's like it's such a opportunity to structure your reading, right? To go back to study.
Yes. And I
Like
mean,
it's
I don't know how much structure I can do because structure's not my thing.
that's okay. You're still taking it in, girl. You're still taking it in. So are you ready for your fire round? I know that
Ready.
this has been really quick, but I'm so glad I've gotten you all in. It's great. I have one more guest to go. You ready?
Ready.
So, which one do you prefer? Because I don't want to force you to choose one, but like at least rank them: audio, ebook, or paper.
So I don't do ebooks just because I don't have a Kindle. I just do paper and audio. And I like them both equally because I am
Mm-hmm.
so busy. I don't want to be without the books, so I have to have them in my ear, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Because you can't drive and read. You can drive and listen.
exactly. But then when I get like 3.5 minutes to myself, then I love to be like in the bed or downstairs with an actual book. Like Felix just said, it's the feel of it. It's just like, oh, and the covers. Oh my God. Because, with the
Uh-huh.
art, like
Yeah.
the covers, they say never judge a book by a cover. Who are
Oh
you?
yeah.
Of course
But
I
that's what
do.
the cover is for.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
And
Like it
now
doesn't
we
have a
get the
cute cover.
edges. Now
Oh
you get the
yes, I
edges
love
with
a gold
with the art.
edge. I
Oh, they're
love.
beautiful. Yeah, especially in the fantasy genre. Yeah, we will talk about that another time.
Yeah.
Ready for your next question? Fiction or nonfiction?
Yes. Mostly fiction. I am a bit of a fantasy girl, but I do love a little bit of a non-fiction to do with mythology and fiction, if you get what I
Same.
mean, right? So,
The historical
it,
value of fiction, right?
yes, yeah,
Then
of
becomes
non-fiction, yes. So I love a bit of historical stuff as well. So yeah, again, 65 fiction, the rest non-fiction.
oh, gotcha. One at a time or multiple? We already know you. You got multiple. You got one in your
Yeah,
bag.
yeah.
Yeah. Reread or no reread?
Definitely reread. Like there are some, and this year, like I reread The Witching Hour every year
Mhm.
since I was 27. So half my life.
I hear you.
And
I hear you.
so this year I'm doing it by audio book,
Oh,
and
switching it up.
it's not hitting right. But I'm gonna get through it.
Oh,
I'm gonna get
I
through it.
hear
I'm
you.
gonna get
Like
through it.
sometimes a narrator can kill it for you. I totally hear you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, man, you've been a pleasure. I will always invite you back. We're gonna find
Thank
something
you.
else to talk about in 2026. So thank you very much for coming, and thank you for
Thank
hanging
you.
around because I know you've been here from the beginning. God bless, and I'll see you
Thank
soon.
you.
Be well. And we have our final guest, and I think we might get a little bit of a cameo by another guest, but we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to welcome to the stage Mr. Hilton Grace. So I have to tell you all, Hilton Grace is like and he's on mute, but he is the king of all storytelling and poetry performance in Cayman. Hilton and I have known each other for many, many years. He is a prolific poet, and I love the performance that he does of his poetry. You will probably know him from Give Me a Story this year. He did a really good job at Give Me a Story this year. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm getting a comment. How Hilton get his teeth so white? Babe. The commentator is like, hey, I'm jealous.
How are
How
you
you
doing?
doing, Hilton? Welcome, my love.
I'm well and I'm excited. Congrats on this.
Thank you.
I've seen it growing, so great.
It's been such a pleasure to put it together. And you're on my list of people that needs to spend an hour with me in the new year, obviously.
Say the
We
word.
need to talk about community, right? We need to talk about it. So, but now that we're doing this mostly live, I'm going to invite you back and we can actually have a conversation about flowetry and all the things that you're up to.
Indeed.
But, let's talk about how books fit into your life.
Well, books generally for me, they offer a sense of direction, entertainment, and a sense of purpose. I started reading from I was very, very, very young, most of the books of an older brother. And so they are part and parcel. That's where I try to get direction from, whether it's history, politics, whatever it is. Books play a vital role in my life.
Yeah. Do you have any intentions for this year? Any goals for your reading?
I have some intentions of reading a few books. I have a few here, but most of them are rereads.
Mhm.
So, for example, I have this Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. In terms of just self-awareness, that's a brilliant book. I have one by Howard Gardner, Changing Minds, and I read this a long time ago. And I wanted to go over that again. I have one called Prisoner of Our Thoughts, which is
Ooh,
Spartacus.
that
He
sounds good.
uses the Viktor Frankl's framework. As a matter of fact, he was Viktor Frankl's protege. And so this
Mhm.
book there, it's a very, very beautiful book, Um, this, along with Seven Habits of Highly Effective People,
Highly
are
effective people.
powerful to read together. I also am hoping to read The Soul of Leadership, Mark Chopra.
Mhm.
Again, a reread. And this one, I'm
Oh, I
revisiting
love that.
one. I
I love
revisited.
that book.
I'm currently working with a young adult client, and I think this is very explore the concepts in. So, generally, uh, are the books that I intend on reading for the first 6 months. I don't know how the other 6 months are going to go, but these in particular, I said, yes,
Mhm.
I want to do these.
I love The Gifts of Imperfection. It is one of the foundational books of my understanding of human behavior, and I'm so glad to see that's on your list. Look at that.
Thank you.
Good times. Any poetry on your list?
No, I actually hardly read poetry. I
Mm-hmm.
listen to poetry. Um, and I do have books of poetry, which from time to time I do go and read through. But I prefer to listen to poetry than to read it per se.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
hear you. I enjoy listening to poetry, and I enjoy listening to um, Caribbean poetry more than anything else.
Yes.
I don't know if you heard me pop off in the audience at Give Me a Story, where I was like, yo, every time the Joan Andrea Hutchinson poems came
Oh
up,
yes, yes.
I listen, man, I was ready. And of course I grew up, I know these poems side by side. So I was sitting next to a friend of mine who also knew them and I didn't know. But the bleach one had
yes.
me doing backflips in the crowd. I was so
I
excited.
saw,
I love Joan
saw
Andrea
that.
Hutchinson so much. Oh man, it was so good. I'm so glad that you've come on, and I really appreciate it. But I actually want to ask. I don't want to skip your fire round. Are you ready for your fire round?
Great. Go ahead.
Audio, ebook, or paper?
Always paper.
Always
There's
paper.
something about ebooks, just like poetry. I like the rhythm of poetry and hearing it. With a book like these books dealing with human nature and things, I'm not sure I can stomach hearing that unless I'm in a lecture.
Mhm.
So paper it.
Yeah, yeah. I hear you. I get that. I understand. So fiction or nonfiction?
Non-fiction. I tend to watch more fiction, but I read none.
Okay, I'm gonna send you recommendations as well because I
Sure.
think you're gonna like my recommendations because I like to see the diversity because I feel I saw this recently and I'm just because I have a little time. I saw a recent thing on the reading of fiction and what it actually does to you and how it's different. And men tend to lean toward the nonfiction because you guys are very like directly driven towards your growth when you're focusing on your reading, like you're doing it for a purpose. But I'd love to see women read more nonfiction and men read more fiction. So that's one of my little things. So we can talk.
All
But
right.
we will talk about that another time. One at a time or multiple books?
Um, Maximum two.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Especially when you're growing, right? When
Oh
you're
yeah.
reading that heavy stuff. Yeah. And you already answered that you reread. You clearly definitely reread. Do you always finish a book? Do you always feel compelled to finish a book?
Not always.
Mhm.
I think up to 90%, because generally based on the books that I usually read, by midway, three quarters way, you get it.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
get it. So
Mhm.
many times 3 quarters, now and then I'll definitely finish a book.
Listen, man, it has been a pleasure to have you. It has been a pleasure to have all of my guests tonight.
Yes.
We are out of time, and I really need to do this again. I'm actually tempted to have this be a practice that we do, at least once a month. Hilton, thank you. Thank you for joining me.
My pleasure.
Thank you to all of our guests for the night. It has been Books and Bush Tea, and we are going to keep the tea hot and we're going to keep the books going. and I'll see you next week.